everybody, it's me Hannah with Solo Suit, and today I'm going to show you an interview that I recently had with a real former debt collector named Bill. Bill used to work for Avante USA and LTD Financial, which are two debt collection agencies based out of Houston, Texas. In our interview, he spills secrets and tactics that he used while working as a debt collector to get people to pay up. He also shares how debtors can 1. Stop debt collector calls, and 2. Settle a debt. Note that Bill is not an attorney. He is just an average former debt collector, but he does have a lot of experience in the game because he worked quote unquote on the floor and doing what he was told to do to get people to pay off their debts. So now let's have a little recap of my interview with the former debt collector Bill. Number 1, to stop debt collector calls, send a debt validation letter or a cease and desist letter. Many junk debt buyers purchase hundreds, if not thousands, of old debt portfolios all at the same time with the hopes to collect on them. A debt validation letter forces collectors to prove that they have the right to collect the debt, that the debt is valid, and that you actually owe it. Section 809 of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act outlines a list of information needed to validate a debt, which includes the amount of the debt, the name of the creditor to whom the debt is owed, statements that explain the consumer has 30 days to dispute the debt, and if disputed within that timeline, the collector will send a verification of the debt or a copy of a judgment against the consumer, along with the name and address of the original creditor if it's different from the current creditor, to the consumer via mail. If a debt collector cannot validate your debt, then they have to stop calling you about it, and they will not have the legal grounds that they need to file a lawsuit against you to sue you for the debt. On the other hand, if you send a cease and desist letter, this can stop debt collection calls for a time, but it will not block further debt collection efforts like legal action. At Solo Suit, we have a debt validation letter template that thousands of average and everyday consumers like you have used to stop debt collectors from collecting on old, already paid, or otherwise invalid debts. Number 2, the older your debt, the better your chances of debt settlement. If a debt collector knows that the statute of limitations is about to expire on your debt, then they may be more willing to negotiate a settlement. They might even accept a lower amount than usual as a last-ditch effort to collect some money on the debt. According to our former debt collector friend, a lot of debt collectors get bonuses at the end of the month, so sometimes it may be best to negotiate your settlement near the end of the month. We also have a service at Solo Suit called Solo Settle, which is a tech-based approach to debt settlement. Solo Settle is a software that helps debtors draft and send debt settlement offers to creditors and debt collectors to start the debt settlement communications. The software acts as a middleman between the debtor and the creditor or debt collector. It relays offers and counteroffers back and forth between the two parties until an agreement is reached. If the thought of calling a debt collector to negotiate a debt settlement intimidates you, using Solo Settle can help you ease the anxiety and get that conversation started. As a part of the service, all of your communications will be properly and legally worded to help improve your chances of settling the debt. Now let's consider a real example. Megan took out a personal loan in 2019 to fund her small business. However, during the pandemic, her business failed because of COVID. Her bank sold her debt to one of the major debt collection agencies in the US, and the debt collector then sued Megan for $26,500. Without Solo Suit, Megan would not have been able to respond to the lawsuit. She would have lost the lawsuit automatically, and her wages would have been garnished at 25% out of every paycheck, possibly for the rest of her life. With Solo Suit, Megan was able to respond to the lawsuit, block an automatic defeat, and then use Solo Settle to settle the debt for a total cost of only $11,000. So in summary, Megan deleted $15,500 of debt in less than 14 days, thanks to Solo Suit. Solo Suit has helped 170,000 people respond to more than $1 billion in debt lawsuits. But it doesn't matter what stage of the debt collection process you find yourself in. We can help you request a debt validation, respond to a debt lawsuit, ask that your case be moved to arbitration, and negotiate a debt settlement and settle your debt before your court date. More than anything, we at Solo Suit want you to know that we are rooting for you and we want you to resolve your debt and win. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that these tips and tricks and secrets may help you resolve your debt and move on with your life.